I know you often feel overwhelmed by that voice in your head, the one that tells you you're not good enough. It's important to understand that you're not alone in this struggle. Our hearts want to believe that self-doubt will magically disappear one day, but if we're not careful, it can hold you back from reaching your full potential. Many people face this inner critic, and it can be quite crippling. Unfortunately, this self-doubt can be so sneaky that you don't even realize how much it affects you. Sometimes it's like a well-disguised trap that keeps pulling you down. You've probably found yourself doubting your abilities or second-guessing every decision, which can be really frustrating and tiring. Some thoughts might seem like they are protecting you from failure, but in reality, they're just stopping you from growing. It's important to be aware of this because sometimes external pressures, like other people's opinions, can make your inner critic louder. Other times, it's your own deeply held beliefs and fears. Your mind can be a tricky place. As you're not careful, these negative thoughts can take over. In today's video, I'll help you understand how to silence your inner critic using the wisdom of Stoicism. We'll explore practical steps that can help you build unshakable self-confidence. Before we dive into these transformative tips, make sure you hit the like button if you're someone who's ready to take control of your thoughts and boost your confidence. The power of self-confidence, much like the philosophy of Stoicism, is not found in external validation or approval from others. It is cultivated in the quiet spaces of your mind, far away from the noise of external opinions. There's a profound strength in learning how to silence your inner critic, the one voice that, ironically, tends to be louder and more persistent than the voices around you. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient wisdom, offers not only a framework for how to live, but also a powerful toolkit for overcoming this self-sabotage and developing unshakable self-confidence. Before we start, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot and costs you nothing. Picture this: you're in a room and you've been given an opportunity. A moment to showcase your talents, your ideas, your worth. But then, there's a whisper in your head. A small nagging voice says, "What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will they think of me?" It is this voice, the inner critic, that robs us of our fullest potential. Yet, as you embrace the teachings of Stoicism, you will begin to realize that this voice, however persistent, does not have the power to define you. In fact, the Stoic approach teaches that this voice can be transformed from a source of doubt into a guide toward a more confident, resilient version of yourself. To begin this journey, it's crucial to understand that self-confidence is not about arrogance or the illusion of superiority over others. Stoicism teaches us that confidence is built on inner peace, the kind that cannot be easily disturbed by circumstances or opinions. When you think about confidence in this way, it stops being about proving something to others and starts being about living in harmony with yourself. The Stoics believed in focusing on personal virtue and wisdom, and this is where we can begin to challenge the inner critic. When that critical voice arises, it often does so based on fears of inadequacy, on judgments that we are somehow falling short of expectations, either our own or society's. But Stoicism teaches that these judgments are largely irrational and often irrelevant. Your worth is not determined by how you compare to others, nor by how you measure up to an arbitrary standard of success. Instead, it's defined by the integrity of your character and the strength of your mind. When you silence the inner critic, you are not ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist. Instead, you confront it, you listen, and then you reason with it. One of the most profound exercises in Stoic practice is the idea of separating facts from interpretations. The inner critic thrives on interpretations, distorted perspectives that exaggerate your flaws or inflate the risks of failure. But when you bring Stoic reasoning into the equation, you begin to see these thoughts for what they are. Just thoughts, not facts. For instance, when you hear the inner voice say, "You're not good enough," you can challenge it by asking, "Is that true? Or is that simply a fear-based perception?" The answer is almost always the latter. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to develop a strong internal compass, one that guides us based on values like wisdom, courage, and justice. Confidence, then, becomes a byproduct of living in alignment with these values. It is not the fleeting kind of confidence that comes from external success, which can be lost as quickly as it is gained. Instead, it is a grounded, unwavering belief in your ability to navigate life's challenges with virtue and resilience. The inner critic often feeds off the belief that our value is contingent on external outcomes, whether we succeed or fail, whether others approve or disapprove of us. But the Stoic approach teaches us to detach from these external metrics. Success and failure are temporary. They are fleeting conditions that do not define who you are at your core. What matters is how you handle these situations and how you carry yourself in the face of both praise and criticism. This realization is liberating because it means that your confidence is no longer at the mercy of outcomes you cannot control. Instead, it is rooted in the one thing you always have control over, your character. Another key Stoic principle that helps silence the inner critic is the idea of impermanence. Everything in life, every success, every failure, every moment of praise or criticism is temporary. The Stoics were keenly aware of this and used this understanding to maintain their composure in both triumph and adversity. When you realize that the opinions of others, and even your own negative thoughts, will pass with time, they lose their power over you. This creates a sense of calm, a quiet confidence that allows you to move forward without being bogged down by fear or self-doubt. To strengthen this inner calm, Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection. In fact, self-examination is a daily practice among Stoics, where they would review their actions, thoughts, and emotions at the end of each day. This practice is incredibly useful when dealing with the inner critic because it allows you to step back from the chaos of your thoughts and examine them with objectivity. By doing this, you can identify patterns of negative thinking, understand their origins, and, most importantly, begin to rewrite the narrative you tell yourself. This self-reflection is not about harshly judging yourself, but about gaining insight into your mind. When you observe your thoughts rather than react to them, you begin to see that the inner critic is often a reflection of past fears or insecurities. It's an echo of experiences where you felt inadequate, but it doesn't have to define your future. In the quiet of self-reflection, you can recognize these fears for what they are, remnants of a past that no longer holds power over you. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoicism is its focus on resilience, not just in the face of external obstacles, but also in overcoming internal barriers. The inner critic is one such barrier. However, through the lens of Stoicism, you can see it not as an enemy, but as an opportunity to cultivate resilience. Each time you face down this voice and choose to act in alignment with your values, you strengthen your resolve. You become more aware of your inner strength and less dependent on external validation. But how do we apply these Stoic principles in everyday life? When that inner voice arises, telling you that you're not capable, that you're not worthy, there are practical Stoic techniques that can help you regain control. One such technique is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This exercise involves visualizing potential challenges or setbacks that you may face and mentally preparing for them. This practice helps diminish the power of your inner critic because it removes the element of surprise. When you've already considered and accepted the possibility of failure, the fear of it no longer holds the same weight. In these moments, Stoicism also encourages us to practice self-compassion, something that is often overlooked in discussions of confidence. The inner critic is harsh, judgmental, and relentless. Stoicism, though often seen as a philosophy of discipline and rigor, also teaches the importance of treating yourself with kindness. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us that we are all human, that we all make mistakes, and that self-improvement is a gradual process. This understanding allows you to be firm with yourself without being cruel, to strive for growth without tearing yourself down in the process. Another Stoic strategy for silencing the inner critic is the art of mindfulness. While Stoicism is not typically associated with meditation in the modern sense, the practice of mindfulness is central to the Stoic way of life. It is about being fully present in the moment, aware of your thoughts, but not controlled by them. When the inner critic starts to speak, mindfulness allows you to observe it from a distance, to recognize it as a passing thought rather than a definitive truth. This detachment creates space between you and the critical voice, allowing you to respond with clarity and wisdom rather than react with fear. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to seek out role models, individuals who embody the kind of resilience and confidence we aspire to cultivate. Whether it's the historical Stoic figures like Marcus Aurelius, or contemporary examples of people who face adversity with grace, these role models can provide inspiration and guidance. They show us that confidence is not about never feeling doubt, but about persisting in the face of it. In essence, silencing the inner critic is not about eliminating doubt altogether, but about changing your relationship with it. Stoicism teaches that doubt is a natural part of the human experience, but it does not have to define you or dictate your actions. Through self-reflection, resilience, and mindfulness, you can transform that voice into a reminder of your strength and capability. As you continue on this journey of self-discovery and growth, remember that true confidence is not a destination, it is a practice. It is cultivated through daily actions, through the choices you make, and through the mindset you adopt. Stoicism provides a powerful framework for this practice, guiding you toward a life of inner peace, resilience, and unshakable self-confidence. If you found value in this exploration of Stoicism and self-confidence, I encourage you to reflect on how these principles resonate with your own experiences. And if you're ready to take the next step, share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear how Stoicism has influenced your journey towards silencing your inner critic. Until next time, remember, confidence isn't something you need to chase. It's already within you, waiting to be cultivated.